Okay, this tease is really going to be fun. Because if you want to know what's in the stars for you this week, just know that Uranus is on the move.
It's true. We astrologers use the word Uranus just so it doesn't sound like Uranus. But Uranus is on the move. It stays in the sign for 7 years. And Uranus is important because it's where you make your statement of uniqueness as a being. And where there's, it just gets worse from here. It just does. So it's leaving the sign of Aries, where it's been for 7 years, and going into the sign of Taurus. And wherever Uranus is I know, it's just going to be so bad. I got to say it 12 times. Wherever it is where you're trying to make change in your life, where you're trying to free yourself from restrictions, so you can better express yourself. So for Taurus is the sign that we're in. Uranus is in Aries, and it's been in their 12th house of their own undoing, of giving more than they're getting, and it's been for people like your fabulous wife, it has been, let me do all of the giving and not do a whole lot of receiving back, and it's sort of like I have to dance to somebody else's tune. I'm not able to be able to direct anything myself. I'm sort of just having to give rather than get. Well, that all starts to change starting next week, when Uranus moves into Taurus, and it gives them a lot more freedom of motion, a lot more freedom of mobility, a lot better circumstance for gratifying themselves. They may still have to do humble service, but they're going to feel a lot better about it. And it's almost like they just want to go, the last 7 years of uncertainty is finally done for them, and they're kind of free to move around the world again, which is a very cool thing.
I can't wait to tell Pat Uranus is going to be just fine.
It's going to be better, yeah, no trouble with that. For Geminis, our beleaguered president, it is moving from their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives and group activities into their 12th house of their own undoing. And they have to be very, very careful, Geminis in general, not to do themselves in a desire to break free from control of other people. They have to be really careful not to throw themselves under the bus. All Geminis everywhere. And that includes the United States, because that's our rising sign. So it is a matter of you've achieved all of your goals and objectives. Now you want to find a way to incorporate that into your life in a non-upsetting kind of a way. For Cancers, it is in their 10th house of career and public standing, again, for the United States, because we're born on the 4th of July. It indicates changes that are going in leadership. It's a new way of doing things. It's been doing that for the last 7 years, and now it's time to say, okay, now that we've made all those changes, how do we achieve as a group, as Cancers in the United States in general, how do we achieve our hopes, wish, goals, and objectives? What do we have to do? And it's going to take a team effort. So I'm hoping it kind of means some bipartisanship.
I hope we come together.
To where we come to some kind of consensus and go forward as a group is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
For Leos, for the last 7 years, it has been in their 9th house of the law, of important matters at a distance, contracts, negotiations, them reaching a broader audience with their words. All of that is in place now. All of that change is done. And now they get to show some professional success as the result of that. And they can actually look forward to 7 years worth of projecting that energy out into the world and it being well received. Like they've laid a very solid foundation for it. And now they really get to sit back and kind of reap the benefits of all that hard work paying off. Which is
I like the sound of that.
Pretty cool thing. For Virgos, it's been in their 8th house of profound financial transformation. And that they've won some, they've lost some, they've been left out of some. They've done well financially, they've incurred debt financially. All of that is done. And now they get to take that show on the long distance road is what they get to do. Because the 9th house for Virgo is legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance, publishing, and reaching a broader audience with your words. So I hope to be like Chicken Man and be everywhere. Mm-hmm. For Libras, it has been in their 7th house of partners and open enemies. And Libras everywhere have struggled very mightily over the last 7 years to establish their own identity, independent of partners, independent of anything else. And now that they've done that and they've established themselves in their own right as an authority, they can make money based on that, which is a very cool thing. So it's about time, Andrew, you're not broke anymore. That'd be a good thing. So for Scorpios, it has been in their 6th house of work, health, and responsibilities. And again, I always have to laugh at Hillary Clinton, my favorite Scorpio, because the upheaval and change with work and jobs, and she went from being Secretary of State to almost president to what have you done for us lately kind of a thing. So over the next 7 years, I think Scorpios are going to find a way to reinvent themselves, to make it the new, better, new and improved. And Scorpio, much like the phoenix has to rise up out of the ashes, and they're going to take 7 years to do that. So for Sagittarians, it has been in their 5th house. So I just want to have fun. I want to have a good time. I want to be creative. I want to enjoy the love principle. And now it's going into their 6th house of work and responsibility. And to Sagittarians everywhere, I think that there is some sort of a vocation that they've really kind of fallen in love with over the last 7 years, and now they get to put that show on the road and make it a vocation and actually make some money out of it. For Capricorns, all of the profound changes at home are done. And whatever they have left in their home is real and valid, and they can depend on it. And now they just want to have fun for the next 7 years or so. And they really want to enjoy their lives and themselves and what it is that they've put forth, because all that upheaval of home is done. For Aquarians, 3rd house of day-to-day living, and the pace of their day-to-day living had picked up to warp speed. And now it's time to take a step back and to really work on your home and your foundations to make sure they can support you. For Pisces, it's been in their 2nd house of money, and Pisces have had either feast or famine. They've been really rich or really poor, that there's no middle ground with them. With all of that financial change is done, and if they have 2 nickels left to rub, that's a good thing, because they're going to be able to build it up from there, and the pace of their life is about to pick up. And they can learn something very useful about the world. For Aries, the last sign, they have really been establishing who they are, what they are in their own right as an independent force over the last 7 years or so. And now it's time to make sure you can make some money doing that. And it's through their own creativity. They will have a bunch of opportunities. And to Aries everywhere, I have to say, all that glitters isn't gold. And if it appears to be too good to be true, it isn't. So not to fall for that and not to get conned. So tomorrow's news today with Uranus, the planet of freedom and change, on the move.
Well, thanks for putting the news on Uranus right up front for us. See you next week.
Always a pleasure.